Today, I'm going to share with you 10 oils to help you own a successful mindset. And before that, let me do a quick introduction of me and my family. This is my 10-year-old daughter. You have met her a little bit earlier just now. And my loving husband and my cute little poodle, which I got last year. And so she's a little bit more than a year and a half. And I started encountering Young Living in the year 2012 when I was 8 months pregnant. And that was the time when Young Living held their first event in Hong Kong, when Hong Kong wasn't even opened yet. And I was heavily pregnant and I had really swollen legs because of my pregnancy. And at that time, my first oil that I get in touch was Pan Away. So you might be surprised because a lot of people would have said that pregnant women cannot use wintergreen because of the pregnancy, right? But that was apparently my first oil I used with Young Living. And so I started with this oil, and then I got into more and more oils to help me breastfeed, and also with my newborn back then. And then I started, using more and more oils. And with a lot of people who have started Young Living like this way, I become a fan and I loved the product so much. I couldn't stand to just use it myself, but to share with my friends. So among my friends, I'm used to be like a key opinion leader, KOL, and a lot of things I use, my friends use. So with Young Living, it's very natural that my friends started using the products because of my recommendation. So I started signing up a lot of people, and then my upline diamond back then she wasn't a diamond yet, but she saw me signing up a lot of people. So she approached me and asked me if I am interested in doing the business. When I heard that Young Living is a network marketing company, that was when I was shocked. And then I was not very into network marketing because from a previous bad experience with another MLM company. So because of that, I rejected my upline, and I said, no, I don't want to, do the business. I just want to share what I love and just want to help people. So then in a year after, I became a natural, silver because of just simply sharing what I love. And then somehow a friend's friend was interested in the business. And then another friend's friend also interested in the business and came over to me and asked for details. And it was because of that reason I started looking into the business side of Young Living. And because Joanne, my upline, was not back then wasn't as familiar in the compensation plan and all that. I dug into the details, and then I shared with the two friends about the compensation plan. And that is when my team started growing. And then by the year 2014, which is 2 years later, I won an award called the Diamond for a Day at the convention in US. So I flew for the first time after giving birth with my little girl, and to Utah, a very, very different place I've never been to. And first time I saw Gary on the stage, and then I saw his passion and also the culture of the company. And I feel that this company is not an ordinary network marketing company, because they never mention about the numbers, and never ask us to, do like set goals, or, do enrollments and expand our team, etc. No business was talked in the convention. Yes, Diamond for a Day. Have you ever heard of this award? This award gives, it's awarded to people who had achieved some kind of achievement, and they are able to enjoy all the benefits of being a diamond. So back then I was a silver when I attended the convention, but then I was able to enjoy all the perks of being a diamond, and including sitting in front of the audience, having my own table and notebook and pen to drop my notes, and I was able to access the Diamond Lounge and all that, and it was really cool. So I was, my friends was saying, oh, you are already enjoying the benefits of a diamond in the first convention. How are you going to, continue the following conventions? So guess what? It was some kind of a motivation for me too. I guess built into my internal, mind, that the following year I have to work hard, and the next month I went back home. My mindset has changed, and then I went back home, and then I became a gold, and I remember it was because I wasn't afraid of telling people that I'm with Young Living anymore. I started sharing my photos about the convention and also the farm days, etc. And then the following month in August, I went to the Silver Retreat. Again, it was my second time flying to US. Flying away from my newborn. Well, actually, it's not newborn anymore, 2-year old. And I was able to meet silvers from all over the country, all over the world. And I realized that a lot of them started Young Living business just as how I did. And that was when I realized that I can also take up this Young Living as my lifetime career job, because I wasn't working back then. I was a full-time mom, and my husband is a entrepreneur. He's a serial entrepreneur. He just loves creating his own business, setting up his own business. And so I see that he has a lot of pressure from his businesses, and also cash flow issues. This is very, very normal for people owning a business. So then I made up the decision of taking up this lifelong career with Young Living, because I wanted to help the family. I wanted to be part of the bread giver. So that is how I started to, seriously take up the sharing part. Because previously I was a marketing manager at a multinational company. I was already been trained to do trainings to the members, to people, how to use their membership. So with Young Living, it's very natural for me. I love using the products, and it is just sharing how I use the products. And so it is very natural that I started holding a lot of classes and teaching them how to use the products. So for me, I put a lot of effort in hosting a product education classes. And that is how my team started growing. And in 2015, in November, I reached the rank of Royal Crown Diamond. I am very thankful for what I have achieved. And in 2018, I wrote a book called The 10 Oils to Help You Own a Successful Mindset. Not sure if you have heard of this before. And this book, when Life Science Publisher was still around, I collaborated with them, and they helped me publish this book. And all the proceeds that I earned from the book goes to the Young Living Foundation. So if you're interested, you can go to my bookstore at the 10 oils to successful mindset.com to buy. And also, oh, thank you. Yes, and I also hosted a campaign website. You can go there and donate the money if you find my sharing today helps you. So let me start the presentation. What is mindset? Do you know what is mindset? Because mindset is actually a lot of people are using this as the road to success. This is a very big word. And for me, I'm not sure if you have heard of a phrase, our organization can only be as big as you. This is very true, and it's very true in my own team. Because I was going through a stage when I reached Royal Crown Diamond. The following month, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I was devastated. But now looking back, my mom is now fully recovered thanks to Young Living products and all her, and her own spirit. So I'm very grateful she's still healthy and being able to stay with us and my family and my daughter. But then during those times, I was really upset, and I blamed myself why this has happened to me. And then I started questioning myself how I became an RCD. I had negative voices in my mind, and I told myself that, oh, I must be lucky. I just have luck because I have blah, blah, blah in my team, and I have blah, 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 blah in my team, And I started questioning myself. And then I just, I just collapsed emotionally. And I was upset because I don't understand why I am teaching people health while my mom is having cancer. So I blamed myself, not taking care of her properly and stuff. I gave up. I gave up all my time for my mom. I went to chemotherapy with her, and I also went to Ecuador with her to go through a detox program there at the Young Living Ecuador clinic. So yeah, I'm glad she is doing well. But throughout these years, I have been really in emotional turmoil myself. And so my team, uh, my my team was shaking and dropped. My OGV dropped, and my legs are unstable. And so I was, you know, I was not happy with what I'm doing. And then I was introduced to Tony Robbins, one of a very, very great master in the world. He is definitely one of the people who has drastically changed my life and my mindset. So as soon as I found out that my mindset has changed, the things happening around me changed. And I started attracting back business builders. So I have gone through this journey, and I want to share with you this important aspect of having the right mindset. So Young Living is a self-exploration, personal growth journey. And according to Tony Robbins, mindset is 80% of our success. And only 20% is from technique and strategy. A lot of people focus on the technique and the strategy, but oftentimes they missed out the most important part, which is the mindset. So no matter how many techniques or strategies you have for the business, as long as you have, well, actually, if you don't have the right mindset, okay, you won't be successful. So having the right mindset is actually the key to success. So I want to share with you this fixed mindset and growth mindset concept from the book Mindset, the New Psychology of Success, written by Carol Dweck. She has a very interesting finding from her research. There are two different kinds of mindset among humans. With people with fixed mindset, they think that things come as luck, and intelligence is static, it won't change. And people who have fixed mindset, they avoid challenges and they give up easily due to when they face obstacles, and they see effort as fruitless. They don't find themselves needing to put effort in their success. They think everything is by luck. And they ignore, when people give them feedback, they ignore it, and they think that others are criticizing them instead of giving them feedback. And when they see other people being successful, they think as a threatening by other people's success. But on the contrary, with the growth mindset, people who have growth mindset think that intelligence can be developed, and they have a very, very high desire to learn. And so they have a tendency to, when they see challenges, they embrace it. They quickly think of solutions instead of focusing on the problems. And they are very persistent despite obstacles. When they see any failures or obstacles, they quickly, find ways to go around it. And they think they are believer of effort. as path to mastery. And when they receive feedback or criticism, they learn from it. They treat it as people giving them gold nuggets, right? And they're inspired by others' success instead of threatened by others' success. And another recent mindset that I've been using it quite frequently is the abundance versus scarcity mindset, which is actually coined by Stephen Covey in his bestseller, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And, having abundance mindset is when they think that the resources, the things in the world is unlimited. There's no worries to, fight for it. And so with people with abundance mindset, they think of there's always more. It's unlimited. So they won't be, fearing of not enough. So people with scarcity mindset, they're always in a fear mode. And they think that people will snatch their things, and there is limited resource over there. And so they are often, very impatient, and they are often fear that the outcomes, they have negative outcomes. And it's kind of like a loop. It's like a vicious cycle. When people with scarcity mindset, they will not offer help. They won't share knowledge. And they think that they think that risk is, is something that they need to avoid. So with abundance mindset, they just share everything, right? And very generous with what they've learned. And they believe that the pie is getting bigger and bigger and it's unlimited. Okay. So it is time for you to think what kind of mindset you are owning, and what kind of mindset, and if it is not the mindset that you should have, is it time for you to start making the changes? Okay. So I have used 10 oils. I have chosen 10 oils from Young Living to represent the 10 different mindset that we need in order for us to become successful. So from A to J, we start with A. A for abundance is very obvious, right? So with abundance, we have to understand that it is not only abundance in finance, it's also abundance in a lot of things. When people think of the oil abundance, I don't know, in Hong Kong especially, they think of abundance in financial only. But I have to constantly remind them that abundance is actually abundance in everything. In family, in love, in health, in wealth, in everything. So then when we see ourselves living in abundance, we will attract to it. And abundant things will attract to us. And our leaders follow what we do, what we focus on, the energy flows and we attract them. So with the law of attraction, we can use it to enhance our self-awareness. Our self-awareness helps us grow. And so you can use, I use the oils in different ways. I put it on my palm and I, sniff it. And I like to, shower myself with oils on the crown of my head. And then sometimes I'll just, cover it up all over my body. I put underneath my feet, and I use it like perfume behind my ears, as long as you find it easy to use as long as you use it. There's all different kinds of ways to use it. Just use it with your common sense. That's it, right? There's no right or wrong in using oils. Gary always says, just use with your intuition and intention. Using oils with intention is very important because that is how the law of attraction works. And back to how we can use the law of attraction to enhance our self-awareness, we have to be always allow ourselves to look in around us. And if we find something, happening all the time around us, we have to stop and ask ourselves whether this is something telling us that we should change, or if this is something that we are here to help others. So the law of attraction actually helps us enhance our self-awareness and helps us achieve growth. So it constantly improves ourselves. And with my beginners class, they're actually educational classes, not selling them into memberships. So how I do my beginners class, I do it for existing members or new members. And I also invite non-members to attend. That way, when I start teaching them how to use the products, I am in a mode of education instead of selling. Because if you expect the members are, the audience are non-members, you will use a tone or an attitude of selling. People will feel it as very salesy. But if it's an educational classes, they won't find it salesy because you are just educating people. You're just telling people that these products are really great, and that is how you use the products. And a lot of times, because of this kind of classes, a lot of non-members will sign up. So this is how I do my educational classes. Now, I want to share with you a video that I found online. And this shows you why the focus is very important when you focus on the right things. So is it very interesting that when we focus on one thing, we will often miss other things, right? So we have to constantly remind ourselves that we have to focus on the positive things. Because when we focus on the positive things, we oftentimes we will forget about the negative things. So this is very important. So the second oil I want to share with you is B for belief. Yes, but not the curtain chain. Yes. See, B for belief. I like to shower belief on the crown of my head, just like this, you know. And my upline Royal Crown Diamond, Francis Fuller, who brought Young Living to Asia, actually loves to shower belief on her team, on people. And we always have this belief showers when we see her. So Tony Robbins says to change your life, change the words that you use. The words that we use are very, very important. I have heard that people oftentimes say that they sacrifice their time, you know, to do Young Living business. But when you hear the word sacrifice, it's kind of like a negative word. It gives you a kind of, you know, sacrifice or, you know, sad feeling to it, because words are attached to emotions. And so what if you choose the words invest or choose? I invest time in my Young Living business. Isn't it better and more, you know, motivating than to use the word sacrifice, right? So with your team, with your members, or even with your family, the use of words is very important. And we always have to use words that build up people for yourselves and also for our members as well. So I want to share with you Tony's sharing. So remember to use the right words on yourselves and people around you is very important, okay? So there's also another book called The Hidden Messages in Water by a Japanese professor. And they have done a experiment with water. They took the water sample from different areas and actually spoken good language to the water. Yes, Dr. Emoto. And spoken words of gratitude to the water, and also spoken bad languages to the water, and then separately froze them. And then under the microscope, they see really different crystallization of the different words. So you can see that these are the crystallization with beautiful words, with words of gratitude and, you know, and thankfulness. And even they're using different languages, Tagalog, Portuguese, and Japanese, and English and German. So it's actually very interesting. This is a not good language. This is a bad language. I don't know what's that in English, but it's something bad on people. So then you can see that the crystallite swearing, kind of like swearing, but yeah, swearing to people. So saying stupid or something, and these are like saying thank you. So it's very interesting. You can see that the water crystallized really beautiful under when they're using good words to the water. And same with our body, you know, when we say good things to people or to ourselves, our body is actually consists of 70% water. So be careful of using what kind of language on yourselves and on other people. And have you heard of the story of Melissa? Melissa is a very delicate plant. Gary actually have done an experiment having two persons giving gratitude words to each other, and then harvest the Melissa and then distill, and then having another two persons swearing and yelling at each other next to the Melissa field and harvest and distill. And guess what? The batch where the two ladies are, you know, saying good things to each other actually yield more essential oils much more essential oils than the other batch where the two workers were yelling at each other. So that's why in young living fields, they are, and people are encouraged to, you know, say good things about each other in the fields. So isn't it very interesting about young living? Okay, third, oil is C for change, and the oil is transformation. I just love this oil because this was the oil introduced to me at Silver Retreat, and that was when I started using it daily on the crown of my head. And I started feeling the real transformation in my mindset as well. And so we have to understand that there are two ways to be happy. You know, it's either change the situation or change your mindset or your attitude towards it. So it's very important that we understand that for things to change, we have to change. Okay, it's not to blame others. It's not to blame on the system or on the things that other people has not done. So what we can change is only to change ourselves. But when we talk about changes, I always encourage my team to make positive changes one at a time, just like how we use the oils. Start low, go slow. And that's how we make long-lasting changes. And I still remember when I first started Young Living, that was when FDA was really, you know, stringent with how we share, because when we first started, we can say anything, you know, all kinds of, you know, medical situations and, you know, stuff. But then along the way, I think around 1 or 2 years after I started the business, FDA started to be very, very strict on our brand partners. And so what we did was not to complain, but we started changing our approach to health maintenance. In like the TCM, traditional Chinese medicine way. to gain equilibrium in our health rather than talk about the medical situation. So instead of talking below the line, what above the line, we talk below the line, the health line. So we started talking about getting healthy before our sickness kicks in. So we talk about young living lifestyle as a whole. We talk about toxic-free lifestyle. We talk about not having toxic burden our bodies. So we change our approach in sharing. So this is something we changed. And according to the 80-20% rule, when we look at our OGV, it's actually 80% existing members and only 20% new enrollments. But what I noticed in the field is people focus very much on new enrollments instead. I'm not saying that new enrollments is not important, okay? But when we focus on following up with our existing members and turning them into product lovers, we actually are increasing our OGV by increasing their purchasing frequency through ER and quantity, enlarging the basket. And then through referrals, we increase our new enrollments. So that's why when I do my beginners class, I not only welcome non-members, I encourage existing members to bring along their friends, their non-member friends, to listen to with them. And this actually is very effective because I realized that not many people know how to ask for referrals. So this is something I think you can make use of, because in network marketing, we don't build ourselves. We build through network. We build through a network of people. So don't think that you're building your business yourself, but you make use of the people you already have, your existing members, and reach out to their friends and families who are still non-members. And that's how we expand. Imagine this way: if everyone in our team, in your team, are sharing, everyone is sharing, is signing up one person, your organization doubles, right? So this is how we grow our team. And I always love when Gary says, if you're not living on the edge, then you're taking up too much space. So when we look at him, he's always going through challenges. Even when you see, at different stages of young living, we are always attacked by competitors or other, companies, or even, some young living leaders leaving. This is inevitable change. This is always going to happen. I've been with the company for 10 years already. I have seen so many people leaving and so many people coming. Those who are leaving, I very much believe is because they don't have the same vibration as ours. The young living vibration, the vibe, is true integrity and unconditional love. That is Gary. That is Gary Young. That is his spirit. And if they don't have such vibration, I'm sorry, they're going to leave. They're just going to get pulled by other companies or through law of attraction. They're not going to stay with us for long. Those leaders who stay here are the good people, are the Gary spirit. So don't worry when you see people, leaving. It's fine. Just let them leave because they're not vibrating the same frequency with Young Living. That's it, right? Just keep improving. And Roger Federer, according to Roger Federer, saying the same means going backwards. So I want to share with you my husband's idol, Roger Federer. Well, I've seen him transform. I've seen him, you know, uh, uh, putting up his temper in the tennis court, and then he seems to have dropped. But then, as soon as he transformed himself to be this calm guy, his his he came back through full throttle and become the champion again. So it's really about the mindset, especially with you know uh, uh, these sportsmen. So mindset is very, very important. Okay. So the next oil is D for dream. Build your dream, or you can use the oil dream catcher because uh, they're both talking about our dreams. I'm not sure if you have watched the movie. Stephen Chow is a very popular Hong Kong artist. And he mentioned in his one of his very famous Hong Kong movie called Shaolin Soccer. What's the difference between a salted fish and a man if he doesn't have a dream? Okay, it is a very classic phrase in the movie. The salted fish in Hong Kong is like a preserved fish, so it's already dead. So we need to have our own dream. My success formula is passion plus hard work, that is massive actions, plus time, which is persistence. And it's important for us to have a vision board. Let me know if you have done your vision board before. Have you ever heard of doing a vision board? You go through in the internet or magazines and cut out all your dreams that you want to fulfill in the near future, and then you stick it on a piece of paper or a board, and then you always stick it somewhere you always catch your eyes. But today I want to tell you there's another tip that you want to place your vision board. That is your top right corner of your eyes. So what it means is where you always sit. Say, for example, your office desk, okay? You want to put your vision board on the top right hand side of your eye, of your vision. Or when you're imagining your vision, you can put it inside your vision, your mind, on the top right corner, because that is how you train your subconscious mind of your future. This is something I learned from my teacher, my NLP teacher, Rex. And this is a very useful tip. And you know what? Whatever happens in reality happens twice, one in the mind and one in reality. So dream big because it's free. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. It's a kind of psychology ways of learning to deliver message, and also very good coaching tips. And yes, it's looking at it through our creative side. Yes. Okay, the next oil is E for energy. Manage your energy, not your time. You know, according to the Harvard Business Review, there is a research saying that energy is actually there are four kinds of energy. The first energy is physical, which means, but we have our Young Living lifestyle and eating healthy and working out, right? And if you have more physical energy, you find yourself more time. So it's not a matter of how much time you have. It's a matter of how much energy you have. And the second one is emotional. When you're happy and you are emotionally stable, when you're calm, you find yourself working more. You find yourself working more efficiently, and you have much more time left. And the third is mind. It's the focus. When we focus on one task at a time, and instead of multitasking, of course, sometimes, a lot of times multitasking is good, but I'm talking when there's times that when you need to focus, okay? Then you find yourself finishing the task really quickly, and what's left is time for you to do your other things. And then the fourth energy is spiritual. It's your purpose. It's your calling, your passion, and doing things that you love, and your why. So when you have a purpose, doing things that you love, you find yourself doing it really quickly and you enjoy it. And time, pass by very quickly. And then you find yourself, already, I have done so much already. And it's just a short period of time that I have finished. And you have a lot of time remaining. So it's not about how much time we have, it's how much energy we have. So with the physical and emotional part, we have our Young Living oils and supplements to deal with, right? But with our mind and spiritual, we also have our blends, our Young Living blends to focus on. So we'll use more oils to help manage our energy, and in turn, we have more time. So don't always say we don't have enough time. It's about our energy, okay? So the next oil is F for forgiveness. Forgiveness liberates the soul. It removes fear. Resentment is like drinking poison and hoping it will kill your enemies. So it's not worth it to lose friendship because he or she signs up with their friend instead of you. Instead, we have to look into ourselves why he or she didn't sign up. You see, Young Living business is about relationship, and relationship is about trust. How much trust the other person has onto ourselves. So how do you build your trust is to build your maybe professionalism or your integrity towards them, or how they trust you as to whether or not you will keep hard selling them or even hard selling them friends. And that's how they decided to refer people to you or not. So this is very important. So I think it's more important for us to manage our own self than to blame on others not signing up with you. Because as Nelson Mandela said, it's when you are angry with other person, it's like drinking poison and hoping it will kill that person. So it's not worth it. And also with the other competitors having always attacking Young Living, I think having this oil, Gary creating this oil is to constantly remind himself and also us that forgiveness is something really important for us to move on. Because if we focus on the resentment, by law of attraction, we will attract all the negative things into our lives. But if we let it go, just like the song, let it go, we release our resentment towards the other person and we focus on, the good things that are coming into our lives. So forgiveness is very important. And the next oil is gratitude. Gratitude is, I think, is one of the most important thing or the practice that we should have every day. I encourage each and every one of you to practice gratitude. If you don't know how, I recommend you start up a gratitude journal, and then maybe at the end of every day, you write 3 of the things that you are grateful of. Or start of the day, you look back to the previous day and write something down. Write 3 things you're grateful of from that day. And when you are training yourself to always look at the good things, the gratitude, the things that you're grateful of, by law of attraction, the good things will come to you. And you only focus on the good things, and you will miss out the negative things around you. Let's talk about rejection. A lot of people, especially when you first start sharing Young Living, they are very fearful about rejection. I totally understand because I've been there. But I find myself when I'm sharing something that is really good, if you don't have any expectation in your life, in your sharing, then when the other party rejects you, it will not be as devastating as when you have expectation, expecting them to sign up as a member or use the products, etc. And remember, rejection is not forever rejecting you. Rejection only means that they are not ready to accept your sharing at that moment. But by maybe after hearing a few people's sharing, as long as your relationship is good, as long as they trust you, they will come back and find you. So this is not about rejection. It's about how you want to help them fulfill health and emotional abundance in their life. So this is the main focus, focusing on helping people instead of expecting them to become members. Then alternatively, they will come to you. And focusing on solving the solutions instead of the problems. Because if you focus on the problems, it will never get solved. But if you focus on solving the solutions, then one day you will solve it. And when you expand your comfort zone, I recommend that you do something you don't usually do and keep yourself uncomfortable. You know, I always start, laughing out loud in the public, doing something crazy with my daughter. This is how I, expand her comfort zone, doing something not comfortable in the public so that she get used to doing things uncomfortable in the public. And then she get used to expanding her comfort zone, right? Remember, Gary said, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking too much space. So when we see all the different, famous people out there, they start off with failure, they start off with failure and then they become successful. So let me introduce you to our Chinese entrepreneur. So this is Ma Yun. I forgot his English name. Ma Yun, from China, from Alibaba. And look at him. He he was a failure before he started Alibaba. So all famous people, they started with a failure, lots of failure as well. When you've asked, when someone asked Thomas Edison how he find a way to light up his light bulb, he responded, "No, I just found 99 ways to not light up the light bulb." That's how he faced challenges. He just overcomes each time. He doesn't think that that's a failure. So there's no bad experience. Remember, there's no bad experiences. There's always learning experiences. Okay. So H is for humility. Humility is something I learned from Gary Young. True leader. He is the person who inspired me so much regarding this topic. The higher we are placed, the more humbly we should walk. This is very important because humility reminds us that we need to constantly learn to improve ourselves. And that brings us to the next oil. I for inspiration. In the Book of Rites, it's a very, very famous Chinese book. It mentions improve upon yourself first, then manage your family, then govern your state, and that is the only way to bring justice and virtue to the world. So remember what I shared earlier is for things to change, we have to change. So leaders are readers. We have to constantly upgrade ourselves. And especially when we are stuck. When I was stuck in 2016, after I become RCD, I read so many books and went to so many of Tony Robbins events. I tried to, and I also attended Eric Worre's classes to change myself. And I find that is how I transformed and my mindset changed. So I always I like the word empowerment because it has an element of belief in it. Because we need to believe in our leaders and encourage them and make them independent to do what is best for their own team. Because different leaders have different things they're good at. And so they create their own culture in their team. I encourage my leaders to learn from other leaders and cherry pick the things that suit them, because there are so many different paths to bring you to the road of success. So when you pick up a book or a YouTube, video to learn, I don't expect you to remember everything in the book or in the YouTube video. You can just learn one thing from one book. And then as long as you remember that one thing, and as long as you go through so many books and so many videos, you will remember a lot of things. So leaders are readers. These are some of the books that I recommend people to read. And of course, there are lots and lots more. One of the books that I highly recommend is the D. Gary Young Seed to Seal book. You will learn a lot about Seed to Seal and Gary's personality. And I have to tell you, this is the core value of Young Living. This Seed to Seal is actually the main difference that differentiate Young Living from other companies. So I highly recommend you go read this book and share what you read or what you've learned with your team. And I have recently created a watch party group where a group of people meet up on Zoom and we watch educational videos together and discuss afterwards. So there are lots and lots of resources out there. And my dear friend, Richard Bliss Brooke, he has a Facebook group called The Authentic Networker. There are lots and lots of good stuff in it. And I salute him in all what he has done for the network marketing industry and his integrity, which is what brought him to the long-term success in this field. So I'm sure you can find lots more. So you can hold, I encourage you all to host watch party groups with your team and then discuss afterwards. And remember, you don't need all the resources. You just need to be resourceful. You just need to know where to find the resources. And maybe you have a team where you are good at one thing and the other person is good at another thing. So that's how teamwork works, right? And empower your leaders to do that too. So that brings us to the last oil, J for joy. And always live in a beautiful state, according to Tony Robbins. I just love his teaching. He has inspired me so much in all ways. When you do something you love, you tend to do it good, right? So when you do business with Young Living, You think of things that you're good at and you enjoy. So if you like hiking, you arrange hiking trials with your people and talk about Young Living and do a class while you hike. Or if you like DIY, you can arrange DIY classes and talk about Young Living products during the classes. As long as you find something you love and you do it consistently and persistently, you are on the road to success. So I want to share with you a quote um, of the Serenity Prayer that I have been putting on my phone wallpaper. This is the Serenity Prayer. God grant to me the serenity to accept the things I cannot control, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. So this prayer is something I keep reminding myself, okay, to show serenity when I find that when I encounter things that I cannot control. Because a lot of things, like the things happening around me, a lot of things I cannot control. What I can control is I can control myself. So I have to take courage to change the things that I can, because usually making changes is often require a lot of courage to change, right? Because most people, they prefer to, be stagnant and just keep on doing what they are doing. But keeping on doing what they are doing is actually not improving the situation. And that's why the situation happens over and over again, right? And wisdom to know the difference. That means to know the difference of the situation being able to control or not able to control. So this prayer constantly remind myself to be serene, to have the serenity, to accept the changes that I cannot control, right? And the courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. That's why we need the oil awaken to bring up our self-awareness, This oil, I love to use it, and I love to recommend my team to use it every day to help them bring up their self-awareness to change themselves, change their mindset. So this is a journey of a Young Living brand partner. I want to share with you how I do my beginners class. So first, I would introduce to myself, and I would plant a seed to the business opportunity, how I become a Royal Crown Diamond, and then an introduction to Young Living. And especially we talk about the quality, the seed to seal, which is the core value I just mentioned, right? And I encourage you all to bring your team to farms, to winter harvest or spring planting. You have a farm in Australia, right? See if you can go visit the partner farm, right? In the Blue Cypress farm. And as Eric Worre always says, leaders are created in events. So these kinds of farm experience are actually gem to our members. There are stories to tell in each and every plant. And this is exactly what separates us with the others. And I can proudly say that Young Living is the only essential oil company which can provide such seed to seal experience. The stringent quality control in its farming and distillation process. That's why I highly recommend you to read Mary's book about Gary Young and the seed to seal and share with your team. There are so many things to talk about. And also check out my upline, Joanne Kant's 101 Reasons to Fall in Love with Young Living. They have, she has set up a Facebook Live every Thursday morning time in Hong Kong. And I think that's lunchtime in Australia. She's doing it for Team YL. And I think you can ask Linda to send you the link and invite you all to learn about Young Living and Gary Young. So after seed to seal, next I would talk about the 3 schools of aromatherapy. That is the reason was because there are so many ways, the British way, the French way, and the German, the US ways, that's the French way is the only way, people would ingest oils, and also using it neat on our skin. And that differentiates us with the other schools of aromatherapy. So this is very, very important. You don't want your members, drinking lemon oil water and then having a aromatherapist with the UK certification and alarmed at them drinking the lemon oil and asking who on earth is teaching you ingest essential oils when it is okay for Young Living oils, right? So when you teach, I always talk about the schools of aromatherapy so that the members are educated, and when they have this kind of circumstances with other schools of aromatherapists, they would know how to explain, right? And then next, I will talk about the 3 ways to use the oils, and then the PSK sharing, the premium starter kit sharing. And when I talk about the premium starter kits, I always link up the oils with other products of Young Living. Say, for example, lavender, I will always talk about the lavender shampoo, hand lotion, and conditioner, etc. And so that not only do they know Young Living has oils, essential oils, but they also have personal care products. When I talk about Thieves, I would talk about the whole set of Thieves collection. When I talk about frankincense, I tell them, you know what? Young Living has a whole set of facial products, which has frankincense in it, you know? So that's how I start introducing other products. That's the product education. That's how we expand the members' purchasing basket. And then next, I would talk about ER. This is a definite subject, part of the sharing. But when you talk about essential rewards, we talk about it as an FYI basis. We don't push people. Of course, we recommend people to get on it because because if you are going into a Young Living journey, you must. It is a long-term toxic-free lifestyle, right? So we educate them and tell them how good this is, but without expectation, so that the other person don't feel being pushed to buy products every month. So this is very important. And last but not least, we talk about the business opportunity. Tell them that when you share with 3 people and the 3 people sign up, your PSK will be free. So instead of explicitly telling them about the business opportunity or telling them to do the business, tell them that you can share with people, and so that they can also join your journey to, you know, longevity or healthy lifestyle, right? Okay. So in the process of the Young Living journey, we as leaders empower our team to explore their wow moments with our products. So during the product education for the Premium Starter Kit products, we oftentimes ask them for their wow moments. Which product or which oils do you love most? And then when they started, you know, especially inside a group of people, when they start sharing their, you know, product experiences, that's when their wow moments, you know, come up. And so that's how we turn people into product lovers through personal touch, you know, fun gatherings, and connect with them. And then we encourage them to start sharing with their friends and family and become product sharers, because we are in the business of network marketing, right? Remember when I said we're not building our business ourselves, right? So along the path, we constantly explore their wow moments with the products. And with the wow moments, that's how they turn themselves into product lovers. And then when you become a lover, you know, raving fan, you start sharing uncontrollably with your friends and family, you know. And then imagine every member in your team are product lovers, and they start sharing, your team is doubling, right? So oftentimes when these product sharers start committing themselves as business builders, okay? Let me know if you have such experience. That is when they shift back and forth to product sharer or product lover, because they start getting rejections. You know, this is often because when they share, they share with expectations. They expect people to sign up and become members. When they do that, their audiences can feel it. And that's why it is very important for us to share with love, with unconditional love, with no expectations. You see, unconditional love is when you love with no expectation. This is very important. And guess what? It is that way people will eventually sign up, because that is when people can feel you truly care about them. I have heard Mary talk about this quote several times on stage. No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. You don't need to know everything to start sharing. You just need to learn to love and care about others. This is what I have to share. And you know what? There will be lots of times when you get stuck. I have gotten stuck so many times throughout my Young Living journey. So what do you do when you get stuck? Okay. I have a very, very, good tool that you can use. Have you heard of Dr. Benjamin Perkins and his aroma freedom technique? This is my tool for my team. My team has been using it for quite a while now, and this has helped them change their mindset and get unstuck. This is a very, very easy way. I have created a guided AFT on YouTube. You can simply search AFT Gretchen, and you can find a guided AFT on YouTube, and prepare yourself with these oils and start doing the meditation and the exercise, and it will help you. So the 10 growth mindset statements, what can we say to ourselves? Instead of, I'm not good at this, we say, what am I missing? What can I do better? Instead of, I'm awesome at this, we can say, I'm on the right track. Let me steer myself back. Instead of wanting to give up, try thinking of using some strategies that you've learned. Instead of thinking that things are too hard, try to think that this may take some time and effort. Let me think of how I can overcome these difficulties. Instead of, I can't make this any better, try to think, I can always improve. So I'll keep trying, and keep trying. Instead of, I just can't do direct sales, try thinking, I'm going to train my brain in direct sales. Instead of, oops, I made a mistake, try thinking, there's no bad experience. This experience helped me to learn better. This is a learning experience only. Instead of, I will never be as smart as somebody else, try thinking, I'm going to figure out how she does it. Instead of, it's good enough, try thinking, is it really my best work? Is there anything I can do better? Instead of thinking, plan A didn't work, try thinking, oh, good thing that the alphabet has 25 more letters, so that I have more other plans, so many plans. So it's a matter of the power of your mindset. Is this a half full glass of water, or it's a half empty glass of water? See, the glass of water, the situation is not changed, but it's the way how you see things. It's your perception. It's your mindset. So this is very important, the power of your mindset. So wrap up, these are the 10 oils to help you own a successful mindset. First oil, abundance, belief, changing ourselves. having a dream, having to manage our energy, forgive, being grateful, being humble, and constantly inspire ourselves through learning, and being joyful all the time in the beautiful state. So today, make up your mindset today. Young living is truly a personal growth journey, and I pray for success and abundance in all of you.